Should I leave my jacket down like this on my shoulder?
It's kind of risky.
Is
I
it
like
cute?
it. It's cute.
Okay, I'm leaving.
Does it look cute, viewers, or does it look like she was clawed by a bear?
It was really windy out there.
God, my arms are the color of the poster. Damn it, I knew. Look, you can't even see it if I hold my arm like that.
You want my jacket? And then I'll
No, it's fine.
in.
This is a confidence
builder
exercise.
I'll leave my shoulder out just in solidation.
I saw a TikTok the other day, and it was like, I went jean shopping after therapy. So you know what they say, 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
That's actually true, though.
Yeah,
it really
so
is.
true.
Yeah, I saw
You're like,
it.
oh, I'm a size 6. And then you try on jeans, you're like, oh, no, I'm a 24.
I need this really big.
Really?
Like, oh, these will never fit me. I can't button them.
Yeah.
Welcome to Book Thoughts. We are Thoughts for Books, and these are our thoughts on books. For today's episode, we are doing a 1-episode review of Powerless, the first book in the Powerless trilogy by Lauren Roberts.
Before we jump in, we do have a content warning. Today's podcast is rated mature. We are Book Thoughts after all, so we are going to be using adult language, talking about adult topics, so please pay attention to who may be listening near you. I think it goes without saying, but this episode will contain spoilers for Powerless. Lastly, I'm just going to apologize ahead of time. I, maybe we, but definitely Emily and Jenna will at least mispronounce a name or place. Emily will be leading this episode, so Emily, take it away.
Strip it down, girl.
Down, strip it down, strip it down. Before I begin, I just want to say that is it called like the dedication?
Yes.
When authors take a moment to just write one sentence on one page. And I really like this one is it says, for every girl who has ever felt powerless, which is every girl.
Yeah.
So I just really like that dedication. If you listen to our 10-part series over Onyx Storm, then today's episode is going to be a little different for you. We've decided for the time being, we will save our deep dives for the unfinished series, and that way we can make up storylines and just imagine things in our head like we like to do. And then when it comes to the finished series or standalones, then we will treat it more like a book club where we'll just do a recap and then mainly a discussion portion of the book. I'm about to do like a 5 to 10 minute recap. If it is not detailed enough for you, then you can go on YouTube. And Jenna has a great suggestion of a video where you can watch a Powerless recap. It is
Powerless by Lauren Roberts, and it's under Paedyn on YouTube. And she does an animated 21-minute review of the book, and it was cute.
That is really cool. I'm
That's
not
cool.
talented enough to do that.
I'll be watching that. That's cute.
It's really cute.
To kick it off, here is a quick strip down of Powerless in case you forgot what happened. If you remember, then feel free to strip. Feel free to take off those clothes.
It's getting hot in here.
Thank God we're not in our comfort sweats. Feel free to skip straight ahead to the discussion. If you're on YouTube, you should be able to just click it. If you're not on YouTube and you're on Spotify or somewhere else, then just look in the summary for the timestamp of where to skip ahead. We meet our main character in Santa's favorite spot, a chimney. We quickly learn Paedyn is surviving by stealing, mainly honey buns and fabrics for her seamstress best friend, Adina. They both live in the slums in what I imagine is a glorified pillow fort. A plague hit 3 decades ago, and it was blamed on the ordinaries, aka people without abilities. And it was thought that this was diminishing the elite's abilities. Thus, the king began the purging. The ordinaries had days to evacuate and cross the scorches. Those left or found in hiding would be put to death. We also meet Kai, the king's younger son, also known as the Enforcer, the Prince, the Deliverer of Death, the Executioner of Innocence, and a cocky bastard. He is a wielder, which means he can tap into the powers of others within reach. When we meet him, he is training with his older brother, Kit, who is next in line to the throne. Kit has the dual power of fire and water. Paedyn, as usual, is stealing, but this time she accidentally steals a note that has her address on it, or what was her address before she left the night she found her dad's bloody dead body. That's suspicious. You see, Paedyn isn't ordinary pretending to be a mundane psychic. She is only alive by living by the lessons her dad taught her. While on her daily trip to see what she can steal, she notes that the 6 purging trials is starting in 2 weeks. The purging trials is to honor the plague, which helped them rid the weakness from the society. Elites are born to fight in the purging and win. The ones chosen to compete from the less elites, those with defensive or mundane abilities are walking into a death sentence. On this day, we are graced with Paedyn meeting Kai. Well, actually stealing from him, but tomato. Like I said earlier, Kai is supposed to be the enforcer, the one charged with finding any leftover ordinaries and killing them. But we learned previously that he actually sends them to the Scorches instead, a terribly hot, desolate desert that nearly no one survives. Not much better, but still a little better. The same day she steals from Kai, she actually saves him from a silencer in the slums in front of a crowd. This is where she gains the nickname Silver Savior. Did I mention she also has silver hair, which Jenna probably loves? Because of this event, she finds her name on the list of contestants competing in the purging. Her people voted for the Silver Savior to fight for them, to die for them. Kai is of course competing. He was born to compete. So is Jax, aka Kai and Kit's adopted little brother, whose parents died in a shipwreck. Blair is another contestant that we, the readers, all grow to hate just a little. She can toss people with her mind. Sadie, her BFF, is a cloner and also competing. On the way to the palace, we meet two other contestants, Ace the Ass, an illusionist. Hey, her words, not mine. And Hera, or is it Era? Is that H silent?
No, Hera.
No.
Okay.
Hera.
And Hera, a veil, meaning she can turn invisible. The palace isn't such a bad place to hang out before you meet your demise. For Paedyn, this means warm running water, clothes, a huge bed. She even gets her own personal escort/guard, Lenny. Imperials are usually a bunch of dicks, but he's not bad. Oh, and she has a maid named Ellie. We like Ellie. At the palace, she meets the remaining two contestants. Andy, the cousin of Kit and Kai, who can shapeshift into animals. That's like a question. She can shapeshift into animal. I know she does at the end, but it's like shapeshifting her thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And Braxton, a Brawny. There's a welcoming dinner hosted by none other than the King. Turns out the King knew Paedyn's father, and he loves to taunt her about this. Since her father was a healer, he would come to the palace to help during fever season. The dinner isn't all bad. We get instant attraction from Kai. He even states, "This girl might be the death of me," literally. Is this too soon to make that statement? We shall see. Before the trials begin, we have the interviews. Picture the Hunger Games with Caesar Flickerman. That's what I picture. If you haven't read that, look it up because it describes this scene perfectly. Just this time, the host name is Tila. The interviews are hosted in this arena called the Bull. Everyone answers some questions and then shows off their abilities. Paedyn, of course, has to fake her psychicness, but the people just eat it up. After the interviews, Paedyn starts preparing for the first ball. Who doesn't love a good ball? Paedyn agrees to go with Kit. She is slowly growing fond of the future King. He shows her sides of him that she doesn't expect from a prince. For example, the relationship he has with the cook, Gale. She is almost like a second mother to him. Paedyn is also growing closer to Kai as he trains her in battle, dance, and sexual tension. Before the ball, she learns she gets to invite her best friend, the seamstress, to the palace where she can live and work for her until the purging is over. Yay, Adina! But my personal favorite moment is when she has a run-in with Blair and says one of my favorite lines. Did living in the palace teach you how to be a bitch? Yeah, we like that kind of behavior towards Blair. The ball takes place, but not without a hitch. The palace is attacked by the Resistance, a group of ordinaries and fatals are silencer, mind readers, and controllers who are secretly fighting the King. During this attack, Kai is hurt, and we see Paedyn oh so distressed about this. Their relationship is building. He is easily healed, but not without it being noted by Paedyn that he can handle pain very well. I wonder why. The first trial. It begins with everyone drugged in their sleep and dropped off in the forest, the Whispers. They have a leather band around their arms, and the goal of this first trial is to be the one to collect the most. They only have 6 nights to achieve this, and a site will be filming it all. So the highlight reel of this trial. Kai defeats Braxton, but not before getting burned a little, but once again, he handles pain well. Paedyn runs into Ace the Ass. He starts spinning illusions. She gets away by shooting him in the leg, but winds up with a spear wound in the stomach. Then Paedyn and Kai run into each other. Her wound has become deadly, but not if Kai can help it. He calls her Pay for the first time. We've got a nickname, a pet name. He heals her, and they have heart-to-hearts and decide to be partners in the first trial. They meet wolves. They beat the wolves. He makes a salve for her stitches, and they have even more heart-to-hearts. They talk about how his dad tortured him. She asks his favorite color, favorite food. His is lemon tarts, hers is butterscotch, etc. They are dancing when it's interrupted by Sadie. Kai kills her just as she is about to kill Paedyn. Then they run into Andy and Jax. Then everyone just runs into each other and an all-out brawl takes place. An illusion is spun and Kai ends up throwing a star at Ace, but it's not actually Ace. It's his little brother, Jax. He almost dies in his arms, but he uses a nearby healer's ability and saves him. Drum sound. The first trial is over. I bet the drums actually sound like way more scary than just like, don't. I don't even know. I can't make a drum sound. Only 7 are left as they are dragged into the bowl for the recap. Hera and Sadie died. Andy won with 3 bands. I almost want to say back at the ranch, but back at the palace, Kit and Paedyn have a serious talk about the purging and the plague as he shows her the garden. We see that he might not be like his father and even agrees to donate money from a water fountain to the slums. He cares. Later, Paedyn sneaks out and goes to her old home and finds the resistance. Lenny is in... I'm not going to do it again. Lenny is in the resistance.
Resistance.
It's kind of fun to say it like that, though. We meet Callum, the leader of the resistance, and a mind reader. His daughter... Oh, and he's a mind reader. We also meet his daughter, Mira, which I now know how to pronounce.
Nope, this one's Myra.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, I am.
No.
I am kidding.
Oh, God. Okay. We meet his daughter, Mira, and Lena and Fenn. The resistance wants everyone to live in peace and for the Keen/healers to admit that they lied. Aw, almost too nice. It's also a lot of information for her first meeting. Their plan is to reveal themselves in the final trial that ends in the bowl. They need her to get Kit to show her the secret tunnels leading to the bowl. She does exactly that. While innocently catching chocolate in their mouths in the kitchen, Pei convinces Kit he needs to see how his people live in the slums. The nice moment is interrupted by the Keen threatening her and warns her to stay away from his sons. Paedyn wows the crowd at the second ball in a stunning dress by A. Kai is very drunk, but is able to sober up as he helps Pei through a panic attack by taking her outside and ripping off her dress. Scandalous. That night, there is a random fight night, or fight club, I don't know, that has Pei and Blair fighting each other. She loses to Blair, but not without embarrassing her by kicking her on her ass a few times. Now it's time for trial number 2. The highlight reel. It takes place on a mountain called Plummet Mountain. They have 12 hours to reach the top and beat the other team. It's Kai, Blair, Braxton, and Andy versus Jax, Pei, and Ace. A few injuries happen, but everyone reaches the top, but that's not the end. There is a wooden pole with a battered green flag, and they are informed that they must fight for it. There can only be one winner. Another all-out brawl takes place, but ultimately Kai gets his revenge and kills Ace, and Pei wins with capturing the flag, and Blair kills Braxton, but was actually trying to kill Pei. After the second trial is over, Kit steals Pei to show her the tunnels so she can take him to the slums, but we know it's just to learn about the tunnels. Once again, Kit seems sincere on this trip that he wants better for his people. She later meets with the resistance to show them what she's learned. I think I would be really good at French. Back at the palace, the relationship between Kai and Pei is growing. Kai thinks Pei is dead, stabbed by a dagger, but it's just a nightmare. Pei hears his screams and goes to comfort him. She falls asleep that night in his arms, but leaves the next morning in a hurry because she knows their fate. The third ball takes place, and even though she goes with Kit, she has a sentimental moment in the rain where we get the first nose flick and an almost kissed ruined by the Keen. The final trial is held in the bowl. It's a maze. You must be the first to reach the middle and then kill the person that awaits you there. The highlight reel: Andy attacks Kai. Blair tries to kill Pay. Adina is the one in the circle with little broken fingies. And our hearts fall from our chest as Wood flies and gets her. Blair has killed her. Paedyn holds her while she dies. As promised, the resistance shows up. Silencers hold everyone hostage. They make their announcements and threaten the prince's lives. But of course, Kai breaks free. Pay makes a run for it, but is caught by the king. He admits he knew she was ordinary, and he will make her remember it for the rest of her soon-to-be short-lived life, as he carves an O in the skin of her chest. He also admits that the ordinaries were not affecting the power of the elite. Oh, and he drops the truth bomb that Kai's first kill was her father. She is shocked, but takes the moment to stab him in the chest, killing him with a final blow with her dagger. Kai sees what the woman he loves has done, but gives her a head start to run away, knowing he will be the one to ultimately have to end her. It all ends with Kit saying to Kai, "Bring me Paedyn Gray, Enforcer." I think the first and obvious question is, what power would you want to have if you were an elite?
I'm going to be the weird one that wants to be a tri. Like a dual ability, but like a tri ability. I'd do wielder, telly, and shield.
Oh, you're saying that you're going to...
Those are my top 3.
Okay.
If I could wield all 3 of them, that'd be great. A wielder like Kai, a telly, so I can teleport things with my mind, or a shield, creative force field around people, or
Nice.
a shield. What are your top 3, Jenna?
Oh, God. Okay.
If you don't have a top 3, you can pick a 1.
Yeah, you can't pick a 1. I just couldn't decide, and I was like, those are my top 3. If I were powerful in this story, I'd be the one that would only show 1,
Yeah.
but keep the other one to myself and be like, you really don't know.
Wielder would be super convenient if you were around other elites, but we're going to watch him go possibly not around other elites, so then he might just be kind of ordinary if you're a wielder. So I think I would want to be a healer.
You remind me of the one she trains with in the healing quarters wrong series.
Yeah. I was like, no, I think you're thinking of, yeah.
There's too many
there's
healers.
too many
You're thinking of
this one.
Everflame.
I am. I love her as a character though, because she is like another mother figure to her. But yeah,
An
that's who you
actual
remind me
mother.
of. And when you said healer,
I think that they try to
Wrong
do that
series.
with Gale. They try to make her like a second mother.
ooh, I heard the
yeah.
snippet of the audio. I didn't even listen to the audio, but when I did hear the snippet of how they were trying to portray Gail's voice, it made me cringe.
Was it like an
Ooh.
old lady?
Is it a crone voice?
No,
I want to hear you attempt it.
I don't think I can.
I think you can.
No,
I think you should.
that one bothered me.
Is it a
little bit.
croak? Is it...
No, it's just kind of wrong. I don't know how else to put it. But you didn't answer yours. What was your favorite?
I think I would say Veil would be fun.
I knew you were going to say
the
that.
ability
That'd
of invisibility, or what's it called for them when you can just go to a different place?
The Flash? Or
Is that what it's called? The Flash? No, that's enhanced speed.
do they have one? I thought that was like how they got.
phaser.
Blink.
Oh, yeah.
Blink, the ability of teleportation anywhere in sight.
Because that's what Jax is, right?
I can't remember what Jax is.
Mm.
What is Jax?
Is this another instance where I make something up that's not actually in the book? Because that's really fun for me. I love doing that.
No, you could be. Yeah, he's a
He is
You're
a
right.
Blink,
You're
yeah.
right. Everyone
Yeah.
cried. She said something right. Not that she says things only wrong.
But she does.
If you have the time, you should look up the abilities of this book because there are a ton of them.
Mm-hmm.
And their names are all hinting at what they can do, but some of them I would never guess. I think the most boring ability is the Scholar. The ability of enhanced intellect. I said boring. I didn't say useless. I'm just like, I can turn invisible and you're really good at reading books. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
Still
we're-
hater.
I just like the wow factor
Yeah.
isn't there for it. I'm not saying it's a bad ability for those that all want to be a scholar. And in real life, being a scholar is a great ability to have.
Yeah, but you don't really have to have it as an ability to be it unless nobody can study.
Yeah, maybe none of the characters in this book can read. I do struggle with a lot of the names in this book as well.
One of us in our last series that we did ask if violence was like a turnoff for a nickname. Pay just really gets under my skin.
It's a lot easier to spell than Paedyn, though.
Listen,
I
think
hate
the
it.
overuse of darling. It's
Well.
cute every now and then. What I didn't like about violence in the last one is it was the only other thing he would call her. And it was cute, like I said, to a degree. But then there were just some instances where I was like, okay, you should use it here because she is being her violent little self. Whereas in other times you're just using it for no reason as like a loving nickname. And this was darling. It was overused for me.
But more than that is the font used for the chapter headings in this book.
That was a struggle.
That's my biggest qualm with the book as a whole.
I didn't know what the characters' names were
until
at
it's
first.
like actually
Yeah.
printed later on. Yeah.
I would talk to somebody about maybe changing that in your newer prints because it's difficult.
It's different. It's unique, but man, is it hard to read. Who was your favorite character?
I definitely loved Adina. I will always love Adina. I love the friendships that you can bring into books. I think those are powerful things. That's always something that I appreciate in them. I don't hate Kit or Kai in this book. I liked them. It's just, it was kind of funny to see them both, in a sense, fight for pay. But I think Adina would probably have been my favorite character.
I think Blair's got to be my number one.
You like her?
No, I'm kidding.
Okay, I was like, what?
That's
See
so
what
deadpan,
you-
and I was like,
no,
okay.
I
and?
hate.
Like,
I
okay,
hated
fine.
Blair. I don't like her. She only wanted the crown, and she was trying to kill people, and she was a brat. I did like Sadie though. I was very sad when Sadie died, and I liked Hera. I was very sad when Hera died. But my favorite character is probably Kai. I like him, and I wish that we would have seen Kit develop a little bit more because I think I would like him as well. Because I don't.
He was like the golden boy retriever with the big heart, basically. In this book, I feel like more than anything.
Yep.
I'm kind of jumping ahead, but we do this thing called Wine Wednesday, and one of my biggest things is she doesn't even give Kit a chance to prove that he is going to be a different Keen, and that really bothered me in this book. She jumped on board with the resistance so quickly.
She didn't even ask questions.
Not a single question. She's like, oh, you knew my dad? Okay, well, then we're cool.
I do think that this book, everybody has a low maturity level that is in it. Like, they're still very much developing.
Yeah, they're young.
I don't know. I think that had to do with it. And we're going to get to watch her mature a little bit.
I would probably say Kai is my favorite character. He just is someone that has to kill for a living, but has a soft spot for Paedyn.
He was my second favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, I fell in love with Adina just through those early chapters, getting to meet her, and she was a seamstress. She was always looking out for pay. It was a sisterly bond that I loved about that. But Kai, as quirky as he can be and just kind of brutal,
Darling.
like sometimes I do like him, but he's that darling thing. That's the only thing, like, you gotta not overuse that.
He does have a pretty deep character, though.
Yeah.
He's tortured at his father's
Yeah.
hands. He has been through quite a lot as just a very young prince.
I just like when the guys that are supposed to be all tough and mean turn out to be softies. You know, for example, he's supposed to be killing these children that turn out to be ordinaries, and he's not actually killing them.
Right.
He's sending them to a desolate desert, which I'm not sure is much better, but it's the least he can do. So, or it's the most he can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the most
it's the most he can do.
I do think that he's also setting up a little bit of like precautions for them too, isn't he? Like he's not just sending them out there.
I cannot remember. I think he gives them like a canteen of water and says, good luck.
Well, he did let their family go too.
Yes, yeah,
He let the little girl's family go.
And
with
so
her.
that just, obviously, it just goes to show that monsters can be made, but not all monsters have to be made. He chooses a better path than the one that his father has created for him.
I do get frustrated when he can't decide if he actually hates his dad or not, though. I'm like, dude, yeah, he's a bad guy, man. Just hate him.
The lights went off.
I know, it
It's
threw me
kinda-
off.
it
That's
threw
why I
me
kept
off, too.
looking.
Did we lose power except in this room?
That would be hilarious.
Or there's like a tornado outside, but we're in here recording a
can't hear anything.
podcast.
That's not very funny. At least the walls are padded.
No, I have enough weather apps to be able to
That's
tell
not
you.
very funny. At least the walls are padded. You sounded so serious. I was like, okay, get in trouble. In Oklahoma, you can't joke about tornadoes. Speaking of Oklahoma and tornadoes, if you haven't seen the hit blockbuster film Twister, you should.
You know who's
Talking
never
about-
seen that?
Don't say you. The old one or the new one?
Neither one.
Jenna, are we friends?
This podcast is ending.
like to
Would
be.
you want to go ahead and wrap it up?
Yeah,
Because we gotta go watch two
gone.
movies. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
You gotta
okay.
watch that. You're
I
from
thought
Oklahoma.
the Hunger Games was bad that you haven't seen, or Twilight.
What else haven't you done?
Darling.
Should we play?
Yeah.
I just
Never
used the
Have I
word.
Ever.
Yeah, we're gonna
You
play
did.
Never Have I Ever and see where Jenna lies.
Oh, you guys are gonna be drunk.
Do you have a least favorite character?
I'm sure I do. I'm just not remembering.
We're recording this episode without any spoilers to the next two, and I'm
Oh.
having a really hard time right now.
Well, I
Who
liked
was-
Lenny too. I like Lenny.
Lenny's not bad.
He's
Who was
fun.
the annoying guy that was one of the leaders of the resistance that was kind of an ass the entire time? Which it made sense because I could tell he wasn't. No, that's the other fucking series.
We might have read two series that are very
so
similar.
We did
back
it to
to back.
ourselves.
So
But
sorry.
Pen
Guys.
Cole, if you're listening, please finish your book.
Please.
we beg of you.
Take your time.
They're
Write
so
a good book.
Do it,
Okay.
But finish
do
it
it right.
immediately.
We really
Okay.
want to read it.
You know who I oddly kind of hated, but in a weird way felt bad for, and I don't remember the reasonings for it my first read through, but Ass Ace.
Oh, I hated him.
I hated him, but at the
yeah.
same time I was like, you know what? I think he was from the slums as well.
Mhm.
And he was just trying to get through this using his own
Was he
devious
from
ways.
the slums, or
Yeah.
was he just picked up in the carriage when they went by the
I couldn't
houses and
remember.
stuff?
I didn't know if him and Hera were both picked up in the slums or if it was just they were all picked up around the same time through that same carriage, like you said. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I'm pretty sure he was a slummer. So I felt bad for him and I wanted him to succeed.
Mhm.
And then he just kept showing his true colors where he was just completely selfish. And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
dude, I don't like that.
But I mean, he was a full-on fashion, Hunger Games style, just trying to honestly be brutal enough to survive the next race, and he didn't.
He didn't make it.
He didn't make the next trial.
Mm-mm.
Well, made it to the second one. That was about it.
Ace kind of gives me Jack vibes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He is not from the slums.
Okay.
Oh, see?
See?
There you go. I'm going to be wrong.
Then the next
I was
sentence
wrong.
says Ace seeks to win the trials to escape his life in the slums. So
What?
I don't know what to believe. It says no in the Powerless movie.
Oh, because wasn't he kind of higher up and then he got sent to the slums? Is that what
Oh.
happened?
I thought
don't
Hera,
remember.
him, and Pei were all picked up in the slums.
Me
That's
too.
why, I don't know why I thought that, but I did.
I did
I'm
too.
probably 100%
Well, they
wrong,
were.
guys.
No, you're 100% right. And they were picked up in the carriage, but I don't remember specifically where it says they picked him up because we know that the slums, at least in somewhat way, neighbor where all the elites live.
Right, and we meet a family member of Hera in the next novella. So I thought that's why they all three were from there for some reason.
I don't like Kai's mom. I
The
don't like.
queen?
Yeah, I don't like
Mhm.
Kai's dad,
No.
and I don't even think I like Paedyn's dad.
You don't like, what's his name? Not Asher. Is it Asher?
Asher Sorengale?
Is it
Adam?
Asher again?
He's in two books.
God
I
damn.
don't
Mira.
like him because he doesn't tell Paedyn the truth about anything. He leaves her
Oh, okay.
completely in the dark. He trains her and he takes her in and he makes sure she can survive. But he has so much information that he doesn't share with her.
You know who that reminds me of?
And he-
You remember that Everflame book?
Yeah.
Her mom.
Yeah.
It's always the
Oh,
parents
It drives me nuts.
doing that. Why?
Yeah. They
It
think
doesn't.
they're making the right call, but they're not.
Have they
at
ever
this
read a
point.
fantasy book? It
No.
never works out.
No.
Guys,
No.
share your info with your kids. That's how we get better. Oh,
Don't lie.
God.
Don't lie to your children. Did you
That's
hit
so
the mic?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, your nails are adorable, darling.
Thank you.
thank
It's just
you.
my
I'm
skin
going to keep
tone.
calling you darling throughout this whole thing. If you haven't noticed, I'm up to at least 2 or 3 times.
See,
now.
but when
I
you
like it,
say it,
though.
I like it.
Mhm.
When he says it 30
It's-
times in one chapter, I'm kind of not into it.
I'm going to play that audiobook clip if I can find it again because
Of the cook or
of
of
Gale. And then if you find darling, that's fine too. But he has that really southern draw accent.
Darling.
He says
See,
it, yeah.
that's what I hate. That's
Yeah.
if you say it without the G and you say it like darlin'.
Speaking
I'm
of
not
Ace,
Sorry.
if you Google where is Ace and Powerless from, he is from Statesboro, Georgia.
That is Great.
According to IMDb, because Ace is a character in a hit TV show called Powerless. So you're going to need to be more specific with your Google if you're wanting to figure out where he's from.
How old do we think Jax is? Because I felt a little bit protective of him.
I
Throughout
think he's
the
like
trials.
14, 15.
Yeah, he seemed younger than the rest of the group,
Yeah,
right?
he is
Okay.
younger than the rest of the group.
Did you like Andy or did you hate her?
I liked
liked
Andy,
Andy.
but we didn't really get to see a lot of her
Mm-mm.
because everything she did, I don't think any of it was necessarily kindness in her heart. I think she did anything she did for her family because she was cousins with Kit and Kai.
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't do anything to make me love her, but she didn't necessarily do anything to make me hate her.
Who's your least favorite?
Hold on. I really need to think of my answer
It's
here.
Adina, isn't it?
No, I don't. No, I like Adina is my second favorite character. I think my least favorite character has to probably be the king. That's such a cliche answer, but anyone that
Orders the death of
I was gonna
children?
say, you
Yeah.
see what he's capable of doing and what he's like purging of these people. Like, of course, he's the bad guy.
yeah, if
Like,
you have
that's
so
obvious.
much if you have so much hate in your heart
Mhm.
that you are able to kill children for a reason, then I hate you immediately.
Make your child kill children? Not just like you're not just ordering somebody to do it. It's your kid.
Right.
And you've calloused him to make him be okay about it.
This is just a question of opinion and for fun. We don't have to take it that seriously, but you can if you want to. Do you think people in real life can fake being like when you see a psychic on the street and it's like $5 to read your future? Do you think they're doing exactly what Paedyn does and just looking at the details that you're giving them to make an estimated guess of what your future could look like? Or do you think there are real psychics out there?
I don't want people to think I'm literally insane, but I think there's both.
Do you think there's both? The world, there's both. Should we
That's
have? We
fair.
should have a psychic join the next show.
That would
I'm
be
kind of
interesting.
creeped out.
Why are you creeped out?
I don't
Why?
know. I don't know if I would be comfortable with somebody looking at me and telling me my future.
I would say there's more frauds than there are legitimately
I would agree.
psychic.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there are some things that you look at and you're like, how would somebody know that?
Yeah.
Do you believe in witches?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like a witchcraft. Anybody can try and pull it off, but be terrible or good at faking it.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's like somebody who actually can handle magic.
Yeah.
You know, that's what the best part about living in our world is. We just all live in fantasies.
We literally live in a
the
fantasy world.
dystopian type.
Everything's shitty, and then we all die.
Do you believe that there are?
I don't know. There are definitely phenomenons every day that aren't just having to do with psychics, but things happen in your life where you're like, I can't explain this. But for someone to outright be able to tell the future of something, I don't know. I can't say for sure that there aren't people out there that have been able to tell the future. I know I've had deja vu, and that's kind of like telling the future because I swear I've lived that moment before. And if you're a scientist listening in, which I'm sure you clicked on our podcast, I would love to know if that's like what the phenomenon of that is, if there's like a brain reason for it. But I do think a lot of psychics on the street, like in New York City and other places like that are $5 to read your future, they are totally relying on.
Yeah, they just pick up
Detail.
on clues that they see present on you and your demeanor, and for
I've
sure.
seen some scientific explanations of deja vu, but that's for another time, and you'd have to dig into
That
it.
will be another episode. Tune in 10 weeks when we do our deja vu episode. It will feel like you've seen it, but you haven't.
Oh,
What was your favorite moment?
when Paedyn uses her father's dagger to kill the king.
Dan,
That's fair.
I like it. After he scrapes an O on her chest, he
I-
deserved that dagger.
Yeah, I mean, he scarred her for the rest of her life, and I hope that she uses that anger.
I do like the moment where Kai is throwing it back at her and misses at the very end like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was he missed on purpose.
He did.
There were some cute moments in this book. I don't know if I necessarily have a favorite, to be honest.
Well, I was going to say, like, when they connected in the woods for, like,
Yeah.
the first time.
Yeah.
That was a cool part.
That was,
It was
cute.
a cute moment.
That would probably be my favorite moment when they're in the woods and he saves her because he realizes how much he really loves her.
Yeah.
So I thought it was very cute. Everyone likes that tension. Is she gonna die? Is he gonna save her? You know, it's the good
Take
stuff.
her band.
Yeah. I also like, and I cannot remember for the life of me what instance she realizes this, but I really like when she's like, I'm not ordinary. I am powerful. I am
Yeah.
something.
Oh, yeah.
I really like that mantra.
Good message there.
Children, listen up. What's your least favorite moment? Adriana, you can go first.
I don't enjoy the sticky buns in your pocket and then the reference of blood being honey at every moment. I get you're trying to like not pass out or whatever the case is when she's always using it. She's just trying to get her mind off of the blood she's seeing. So she relates it to sticky buns and the honey dripping. And that to me makes me want to crawl out of my skin. So those are my least favorite moments. I literally have to just skip over those pages. I cannot do them.
I actually put as like a favorite line, and I'm not even sure if it is a line. I just put quotations around it. Honey is blood.
Yes.
Just for you.
Yes, I know you did. I can't
Read it. Can't look at it too long.
Can't handle it.
My least favorite moment is when she immediately trusts the resistance.
Yes.
Immediately. It gives me the ick. Like I said, I think she should have given Kit the opportunity to prove himself in this book.
Mm-hmm.
But I just get so annoyed how trusting she is and doesn't ask, like you said, like we've said earlier, she doesn't ask any questions.
Without any questions being
none.
asked.
She doesn't even want to know more of the plan. They just tell her to go find the tunnels and she just goes and does it. So it really frustrates me.
So my least favorite
I've got to
moment
stop doing that.
when Adina shows up in the ring. I just think that
Listen.
is just the most unfair thing that could happen. She's not even ordinary. She's an
Yeah.
elite. She has a good power.
But she was
Isn't that what she
used
does?
against her. Like
I know,
oh,
but he
that was
doesn't do that
awful.
to anybody else.
Yeah.
He literally singles Paedyn out and does this to her. And I hated that. I don't like it when things are so sad.
Yeah.
And what happened good to Paedyn in this story?
Well, in
Literally
the moment
nothing.
you see her in the middle of the arena like that, you're like, this is it.
Yeah,
This
she's
is,
gonna.
You
She
know
has
what's
to
gonna
die.
happen.
Yeah.
Her holding her at the end there is what really did it for me. Like if I was talking about moments that really made me sad.
It's the little, like, saying that her fingers are broken that really, like, bothers me.
Her seamstress
Yeah.
fingers, yeah.
The
Yeah.
fact they took the time to destroy what made her her. That's very
And her
personal.
love, yeah.
Yeah, it's very personal.
It's heart wrenching, and I hate it.
Overall rating.
I would overall give this a 3. This one was my favorite of the series.
Oh no, this one was your favorite?
Mm-hmm.
She just started reading Fearless, and she said she's excited about it.
Well,
So-
good. Yeah, it's a concluding book. I
Right.
have heard though that she has mentioned that the map has gotten bigger. She can continue storylines of.
I thought you were going to
places.
say that's your favorite moment because after buying the physical copy of the book and seeing the map that is in this book, it's a nice one. Have you looked at it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've only looked at this one though. I didn't compare it to Fearless.
If you're about to read Fearless, I would
Use the
say
map.
take the time to look at the map.
Yeah, definitely use the map.
But
it's great.
It's a really good map. Compare it to like a, I don't know, Fourth Wing map. It says a lot more.
I don't know. Just throw something out there.
Yeah.
Fourth Wing.
Not that I have any qualms with that map. Okay, so 3.
yeah, that would be my rating is a 3.
I'd say 3.5. I'm an adult woman, and this book is TV 14. So there are tension moments that in a real life situation, I think it would lead to more. But since children are reading this book, it does not. And I just find that a little unrealistic, and it takes away from some of the love. So, and if love is being taken away a little bit, then I'm going to rate it a little lower. But the forest scene where she's hurt and he's saving her does make up for it a little bit. So
That's the 0.5.
that's the 0.5. So I would say a 3.5.
Okay. I'm going to give it a 3. It's just so young adult that
Yeah.
reading it at my age, I mean, I think I would have loved it in high school.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Probably college. I do know, like Zoe said that her cousin that's at KD at Arkansas, their like whole sorority's reading this book.
I don't mind the story.
I don't think our scores are anything against the author
No,
and
not
her
at
writing.
all.
I think it's just, first off, I would like to preface, and I am speaking for all 3 of us, and I don't even know if it's true for all 3 of us. I did not know that this book was TV 14. Imagine my shock finding that out, that it was not. You're expecting some more heat and you don't get it. So that's on me. I didn't know that. But I also don't read anything about any book that I ever read. People just tell me to read it, and I say, that sounds great.
Go in blind is
I
the
go
best
in-
way.
Yeah, I go in completely blind.
I knew it was more of the younger side of young adult. There is a spectrum there, and It's not, like I said, nothing against the author. I think that was just her targeted audience and what she felt comfortable writing in those scenes and stuff. And that's totally fine. I know that there are tons of readers out there that actually appreciate that a little bit. I've read some young adult that still deals with some gore and some horrible topics and some things that you can relate to on a dystopian level, and it definitely sticks with you. So I think that I like the play on that you could see the inspiration coming from some of those trials and the purging trials itself.
It was a fun take on that, for sure. It was unique.
The elites versus the ordinaries,
because usually,
division there.
I feel like usually the story is there's a person that has like barely any power, or they haven't discovered they have power. And like book 5, you realize that they actually have the ultimate power.
Yeah.
But
I did think that she was going to come out and actually have a power.
And she could still. You don't know. Because there's still 2 more books to go.
I thought it was going to like manifest like during the trials or something.
Right.
But it didn't.
The whole time reading it, I was kind of anticipating like what she wasn't really paying attention to, but didn't realize it was a power, if that makes sense.
She's a little sidekick. The only thing that confused me is she calls them elites and then lesser elites. I wish there would have been maybe a separate name for lesser elites.
It's just based on their power and their control of that power. Or not control,
I do like
but
the name
the strength of
Fatals.
it.
Calling the ones with those abilities Fatals. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that was cool.
If you were in a situation where you fell in love with someone with no physical contact, then found out that they killed your father, how do you think you'd handle that?
So just purely emotional connection.
Purely emotional.
That's rough.
And they killed your dad.
And they killed your father.
It goes both ways.
You also saw them kill your father.
I might kill him.
I mean, I feel like her heart being ripped out at that moment and shattered after she killed the king, after she heard what he had to say, and then she killed him and ran off like that. But Kai was still trying to protect her even in that moment, and she was hesitant on that. She was confused as to why he missed. And then that just being the cliffhanger, I felt bad for her. I did.
Well, okay, but they've both now killed each other's fathers, so...
Fair.
That is fair. I will also say, I think...
Can you come back from that? Can you really build a relationship?
That's what I'm saying is, can you come back and say that this is endgame for them?
This is their bonding trauma.
Would it be endgame for you? I think my first initial reaction would be to want to kill him because in this situation, at this ending, she thinks that he knows this and lied to her about it. So that betrayal would be almost worse than the fact that he killed my father. But then also, if I was able to sit in a cell and think on it, I think I would start thinking, wait, his dad tortured him growing up, has spun lies to people. Who's to not say that he spun lies to him? You know, I'd start to see this guy that I've grown to know strictly on an emotional level, one of the most crucial levels. Then I would start to be like, I know him differently than what is being portrayed in front of me.
Yeah,
right.
That's where I was saying, like, hopefully her maturity will catch up.
Yes.
Because Kai isn't the person that's going to do that kind of thing. He's not going to keep it from you and gain your trust just to stab you in the back.
I am very excited to see what she has planned, whether it's still in the same universe and we do explore on the map a little bit going forward, or whatever Lauren decides to write after this. I'm very curious to see what she'll take on it.
This was such a hit, she has to keep writing.
Oh, 100%.
For sure.
Yeah.
Did we get a little less young adult as we moved to the third book?
I am not revealing anything for you.
I'm not going to say.
Oh.
That's a spoiler.
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's a spoiler for you and any audience.
Yeah.
Are you sure? What do you guys think?
I love your favorite lines. I know I'm jumping ahead.
Just for funsies, obviously the recap doesn't have a lot of like specific lines in it. It's just trying to recap the story. So I have my 2 favorite lines from the book. I was joking. Honey is blood is not a favorite line. One of my favorite lines is when Kai says, she is the embodiment of a bad decision, the twin of danger and desire, the fine line between deadly and divine, and I can feel myself drowning. Mwah.
Will you do me a favor and narrate a book?
Yeah?
Yeah.
You think I have a good enough voice to narrate?
Yeah, that was beautiful, by the way.
That might...
I love that. That was the best line in the book.
And I am going to just smile for the rest of the day because that's such a fun compliment. I might go narrate a book now. I'm going to write one and then narrate it.
I can definitely listen to that.
And then I'll do a movie and a TV show. And oh my God, the world's changing.
If you wrote the script of a movie, oh my gosh.
I would love to write a script of a movie.
should.
You know how often I feel like I'm living in a movie when I'm just like doing the dishes and I think, wow, that'd be such a sad scene if this happened in a show.
You
do you
need
guys
to
do that?
write this.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
You need to write this down. Make something.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
The next favorite line is "You always have a choice." This is when Paedyn is talking to Kit and she says, "You always have a choice." Man, do I wish she would have given him one. But I just think that that is so powerful. And it goes back to why I said I liked Kai. He has a choice to be a bad guy. Or he
Right.
actually kind of didn't have a choice to be a bad guy. He was forced to do some horrible things and go through some horrible things. And he still made a choice to be a better person and make the best out of his situation. So I just really like that theme in this book, that you
And
always have a choice.
It's an important theme.
Yeah,
Yes.
and you see both of their guilt. That's not hidden. Every time they make a decision that affects another person in a negative way, you see the guilt. You do see Paedyn's guilt for how she treats Kit, too, a little bit. I
I loved watching Kai fall in love with
Yeah.
Paedyn. Like, I really loved, like, even these quotes. I did appreciate that in this book. I loved watching that unfold.
It was a fun love. Because it's Paedyn's always trying to kill him.
Am I growing
Literally
to a
always.
4? Starting to think it might be a 4.
Emily,
You have time to change your
Emily's already
mind.
at 5.
I'm at a 6 already. No. I'm sticking with my 3.5, maybe a 3.75. Another favorite line, and this line I didn't originally have as a favorite, but then I saw a TikTok, of course, and I just really made it, I hadn't caught it the first time I read it, so it made me appreciate it so much more. And it's when they're in the woods and having their heart-to-hearts, and Paedyn asks Kai, "What is your favorite color?" I spin her if only to give myself some time to think. I'd never thought about what my favorite color was before. It never seemed important. Not until I looked into a pair of ocean blue eyes and I realized that perhaps drowning was a beautiful thing.
Yep.
Oh, I like that one. I like that
That
one.
is such a cute line.
Also, how sad is it for his character that he's, aren't they like 19 or something?
Yeah.
And he's never thought about his favorite color?
He had no need to like one.
I hate it.
You should read Alex Astor's Light Lark series.
I have it.
If you like that quote, you should read that.
You
I
should
have
read
it on my Kindle because you recommended it.
You should read the 3rd book of the Powerless
You
trilogy.
should finish it.
I'm starting. I did start that.
I know.
you did?
I'm excited for you. She'll finish it quick. Okay, so now the spotlight. It is true. It has been confirmed by Google that Lauren Roberts' Powerless book series is being adapted into a TV series, not a movie. This project is in early development. The thing that gets me super excited about this is that it's being directed with Will Gluck, who is the director of Anyone But You. And what did I say the other day?
That's all I remember, darling.
He's director, darling. He's a director of like 3 really popular films that I like, and I can only remember Anyone But You. So I am super excited about this. It's on MSN. It's been published in the media that this is true. She talks about it a little bit in her recent interviews. So I think that this series does have potential to make a great TV series.
Yeah, huge congratulations, because that's exciting.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see the adaptation.
Yeah, that's going to be so fun. And I can't wait to critique the casting, whoever's in charge of casting, because I think every reader ever critiques every casting ever.
Yeah, you'll never get it 100% right.
Never.
Somebody's always going to be upset, and it might be us.
So congrats. That's just, I guess I could take this time to bring up the song Ordinary, but no, just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, you could. I listened to it on the way here just
Just to get ready for this.
just to prep because it does belong in this series more than the other.
It does.
I mean,
It
it's
does.
literally
In a way.
ordinary.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ordinary.
and it says like at the tip of your knife, which she always tries to kill him. If I say literally one more time, I'm gonna chop my own head off.
Also, if you watched our final episode of Onyx Storm, I said I was going to put a link above my head for the comfort sweats. Unfortunately, you can't do that until you have 500 subscribers. So look at the caption of this video if you would like to order those sick comfort sweats that we wore the last episode. We probably won't be wearing them again for a long time to film an episode because it gets stuffy in this podcast booth. But we wear them all the time at home, and
They're
that
amazing.
is no lie. They are quality, they are thick, they are awesome, but you do have to keep your house at 68. So now, Adriana, do you want to wrap this thing up?
Now let's wrap it up. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. Next episode, we will be talking about Reckless, Book 2. And be sure to check us out on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Tune in every Friday for a new episode of
Book
Thoughts.
Thoughts. No one did it with me this time.
No.
Ding, 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 ding.